we live in a society where you can literally go on your phone, find all of the local restaurants, hit a button, pay a little extra, and the food will get delivered to your door, and you can stay in your pajamas, and you don't even have to see the freaking driver. And while that is great, it is very easy to overdo that. And I think a lot of people are overdoing that without knowing it.
There's a saying, the best things in life are free. Technically speaking, nothing is free because we all have time, effort, and money. And all great things require at least time and effort.
Next Level Nation, today for episode number 2123, convenience is a luxury. I would go as far to say as convenience is a privilege, and I don't think we really treat it that way. So let's get right into it. I was watching something recently. Again, when I'm trying to unwind late at night, I watch some weird shit. There's a dude named Bren who used to live in his car and used to do Uber Eats and Grubhub. I talked about him a while ago. And I noticed that oftentimes, and again, this isn't a judgment thing, but stay with me on this. Oftentimes, he would go to like Walgreens and he would get like a Kit Kat bar and a 7-Up, which is probably $5, maybe $6. Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. And he would deliver it to someone's house, and it wasn't a very nice house, and it wasn't in a very nice neighborhood. Now, again, am I assuming things? Maybe, but let's just say that person doesn't have a surplus of money. Mm-hmm. You're buying $6 worth of things, which is fine, but you're probably paying $8 to get that to you. Mm-hmm. So a $6 thing turns into a $14 thing. And if you're doing that for a Kit Kat and a Diet Pepsi, you're most likely doing that for pizza, and you're most likely doing that for everything else. At some point, eventually, maybe it makes sense to do that, but it's that weird conversation of if gas down the street is $1 off and you have a 20-gallon tank and let's just say you save $15 by waiting in line. If you wait in line for 2 hours for cheap gas, you're valuing your time at $7.50 an hour, and you're worth more than that. You could go make that somewhere else. So convenience, I think so many of us think that we have to live our lives that way now. And it makes life easier in many ways, but also if you're in a financial pinch, right now is not the time to be paying for convenience. I still refuse to Grubhub. Can't do it. I cannot see it go from $40 to $60 with tip. I can't do it. Is it convenient? Yes. Do I want to waddle my ass down to the car and out to where no, not really, but it's not worth it to me. It's not worth paying the extra $20 or whatever it is. So again, this is the podcast where you want to get a little bit better every day. I think it's a tough conversation worth having.
Well, it depends, right? So consumer versus investor, I've talked about this a lot. If I have a coaching session that's valued at a certain number, we'll call it, for easy numbers, call it $100. And I work already to the max. And let's say I'm already working 10-hour days. I'm coaching 10 times a day for $1,000 a day, every day, 6 days a week. That's $6,000 a week. I should probably Grubhub.
Yes.
But because I'm taking that extra $30 and I'm putting it into convenience because I'm already grinding myself to the fucking bone.
Yeah.
And that's called leverage. And an investor sacrifices time, effort, and money today for more time, effort, and money later. A consumer basically focuses on pleasure in the moment at the expense of their future. I was on with a coaching client earlier, and I have something called the Next Level Wealth Builder. It's a spreadsheet that takes you through your past, your present, and your future in terms of nest egg and debt. And if you want to retire with a certain amount of income, you have to create a nest egg big enough to pay you back. And essentially, the simplest form of it is if you have $1 million in a nest egg by the time you retire, if you grow that $1 million by 10% year over year, that's $100,000 off the top that you can take off the top of it without losing any money. Money makes money. That's the basic principle. And again, don't quote me on those numbers. This was just to make it easy. So I researched this earlier. I told you, and I'll read it verbatim. I sent this to Kev. I sent this to Emilia. I sent this to a few people. While a precise global percentage is not available, existing data from major economies suggest that those 50 and older control about 80% of total wealth in many developed countries. So 70 to 80%. Now, what I was talking to you about is this client is 25. I said, brother, there are no rich young people. Now, there are young people with rich parents. There are young people that are in a lot of debt. There are young people that have high incomes. Not a ton, but some. One of my clients, I coached these two women in their mid-20s. They wanted to start their own Lululemon. They ended up splitting up. They had trouble. But both of their incomes now are probably anywhere between $70,000 and $100,000 each. But they hate their jobs. And I said, well, I know you don't like your job, but you have to use your job, add value there, create that income, and then you can do this thing on the side. And then eventually that will surpass your full-time job, and then you can go all in on that. And then there's this idea of, well, I want passive income. Let me explain. The only way to build passive income is to invest massive amounts of time and effort now to build something that sustains itself over time. And even then, entropy states that all things without injected effort fall to ruin. Imagine a park. You build a beautiful park. You never landscape it. You never fix the monkey bars. You never mulch it. In 2 to 3 years, the brand new pristine park is going to be completely overgrown and unusable. There is no such thing as a self-managing park. There is no such thing as a self-managing company. There is no such thing as a podcast that just runs it fucking self. I don't know where people got that idea. I had someone in her 20s, she said, well, Alan, I don't want to trade my time for money. And I was like, there's no one who doesn't. I have a multimillionaire mentor with $50 million in his bank account who gets paid to be on the board of directors of 5 fucking companies that are all in the $100 million plus range, and he trades his time for money, so I don't know who you think you are. But I guess at the end of the day, she just is ignorant, and she doesn't know that that's really not a thing, and apparently there's a bunch of people on the internet saying it is.
Most people on the internet are saying it. That's the problem.
What's the misunderstanding? Because yeah, you can, like if I had $5 million in an investment account, I can make what? Let me do the math. So if I have $5 million in an investment account right now, which I don't, and I multiply that by 0.08, that means I make $400,000 a year without doing anything. That's what passive income is. But I still have to do the laundry and I still have to clean myself. I still have to brush my teeth.
You have to work the next however many years to acquire the $5 million.
Exactly.
And honestly, you have to work the next however many years to acquire the $15 million, of which $5 million you invest.
Yes, exactly.
That's the whole other thing.
Nice.
That's the whole thing.
So if I make $5 million a year for 25 years, hold on. That's $125 million. If I take 10% of that, I'll have $12.5 million in a nest egg. And if I take 8% of that, I'll have $100,000. Let me crunch this number better. I'm sorry, everybody. Hold on. 25 million times, no, so 5 million times 5 years is 25 million. Okay. And then I take...
Wait, where the hell did you come up with 5 years?
I just picked it. So let's say, bear with me.
Okay.
Let's say I make $5 million a year.
Yeah.
For 5 years. I have $25 million of gross income, gross revenue. If I put away 10% of that, that means I have a nest egg of $2.5 million. Okay. That means that I have $200,000 a year of passive income.
At what percentage?
8%.
8%.
Which is still the average. It could be worse. Also could be better, right?
Yeah. I think it's because it's almost like you're almost looked at as not successful if it's not passive in a way. I think that's the issue. The issue is it's almost like the tides have turned, and if you have to work, you can't take time off whenever, your business doesn't run while you sleep. Well, I mean, technically it does, but it's not what you think it is. Yeah, the business runs
while we sleep.
Yeah, it coasts. Yeah. It's still there when we wake up in the morning. Yeah. Because I think that's almost like that's the new mark of, you trade your time for money. Oh, you're like you've lost the plot. It's like, no.
In real life, though, no one doesn't.
I know. But Instagram is not, it's not real life.
Yeah. There's someone I'm thinking of right now who owns 9 homes. And they are always doing projects, constantly. And by the way, some of the people that you think I'm thinking of, it's a different person. I actually know a lot of people with a lot of properties, but that sounded pretentious. At the end of the day, I told Emilia, fuck that. Absolutely not. Like, I'm not interested. We're building online businesses. I'm not trying to do projects. Like, we have a condo for a reason, and we pay a lot of money to make sure everything's done. I love that. My HOA fees, I'm so grateful. They're high, but thank you. I'm literally here podcasting while the landscaping is being done. It is beautiful here, dude. When I go for a walk here, I go, wow, this place is gorgeous. They do an unbelievable job. And
I have been there. I've been to your house many times.
Nice.
Several times. I wouldn't say many.
It's unbelievable. And I tell Emilia, I said, these flowers, like, this is gorgeous. I'm so grateful that we don't have to do this.
Next Level Nation, what is happening? If you've thought to yourself, I want to try coaching, but you don't really know where to start, group coaching would be a wonderful place for you. That's really why we created it in the first place. We start a new round every 90 days. So if you're hearing this, go to the website, nextleveluniverse.com, and we have the landing page where you can actually hold your spot right now. Even if there's a group going on right now, you can still lock your spot for the next one. The biggest thing that we've seen is as we get closer and closer to the date, unfortunately, some people end up missing. The group fills up and they can't do it, and then they end up regretting that. So please head over to the website. The link will be in the show notes, and we would love to see you there.
Can you imagine me 4 hours on a Sunday, like doing when I could be doing this, which is my thing? And again, I'm not above mowing my own lawn. Please don't make it sound like that. I will. That's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is I want to do my thing really well. Yes. This is the tagline I've been using for Next Level Podcast Solutions. If you have a podcast and you want to succeed, Next Level Podcast Solutions, we do what we do best so you can do what you do best. What we do best is podcast production, audio, video, show notes, YouTube. You get to do your thing because we take care of the rest. That is smart. That's why Next Level Podcast Solutions is successful, because people can invest in us doing their show and our team doing their show, so then they can focus on doing what they do best. That's how the whole economy is run. Is doctors are not mowing their own lawns. And if they are, it's because they're either cheap or it's fun. And I'm not making this wrong. Please don't villainize me for this. Doctors should be doing the doctoring. Nurses should be nursing. Pilots should be flying the plane and not worrying about their accounting. Like, we live in a specialized economy where teachers teach, doctors doctor, engineers engineer, and I'm just making words up now at this point, but cook, like the head chef of the most famous restaurant in New York City is not like concerned about cleaning his freaking lawn.
Cleaning his lawn?
Whatever. Landscaping his lawn. He hires someone else to do his deck, or she. And I just wish we were taught this in school at the end of the day. If I seem frustrating, it's just because in school we weren't really taught that we live in a specialized economy. Amazon does what it does best. Apple does what it does best. Amazon doesn't build computers. And Apple doesn't build cars.
They tried, didn't they? I think they tried.
Yeah, it was a massive failure.
Yeah.
And Best Buy doesn't sell shoes. And Kevin Palmieri doesn't make shoes either. Kevin's a podcaster. Not everyone is for everything.
Well, I think
it's very important.
A way to make it land is to understand that the ultimate goal is you do something, you take a passion, you take a purpose, and you find a way to make it profitable. And then eventually you're able to do that thing more and more and more and more and more. And then you're able to delegate the things that you don't want to do, or you're not that good at, or somebody else is better, or it puts money in somebody else's pocket. And that's the way I think a lot of times people hear like, oh, like I like the fact that you said you're not above doing it. Like you're not,
No.
If you needed to, you would do it. But there's somebody out there that needs that as a part of their business.
Yep.
And you need to coach as a part of our business, and that coaching helps them grow their business, and then they can help more people, and that's the way it ends up working. I don't think...
And it feeds their families.
And it feeds their families.
And pays for their family's college. And the whole world gets better when you do what you do best.
And it allows you to get better at the thing that you do. And I think that's... But I think it's so easy to fall victim to like, that's negative, and... I don't know. I know there's a lot of emotion around stuff like that. I am so excited to get to the place where I can have somebody come to my house to cut my hair. It just eventually will make more sense. One of the reasons, because I don't fucking go. I won't go because there's something that always comes up, and it's like, it's more important. It's more important. Let me do this coaching call. We're launching a podcast. I want to make sure everything's running smoothly. I want to be able to say, hey, whatever it is, Bob, Christina, whoever. How's next Tuesday, 9 a.m.? Does that work for you? Awesome. Come on over. Appreciate it. They'll get paid more. They'll get better at their thing. That's something now they can offer to people, and that's a whole new possibility for them, and it's a whole new possibility for me, and it's a win-win-win. When this is Jeff is when it's not a win-win. But we don't... What's up?
Nothing. I just love this conversation.
I know.
Can you imagine if I came and cut your hair and you came and cut my hair? We'd both look like shit.
Definitely.
And we'd both waste money and time.
For sure.
When we could be doing what we do best. And the economy is built on, I have a barber who's extraordinary at what he does. He's not that good at much else. I'm not trying to be mean to him. It's just he's not that good at much else, but he cuts hair like a champion. So I always go to him and I always tip him well. And that's it. I'm not supposed to cut hair on the side. Way back in the day, and this is something that, again, no one taught us in school, so if I'm intense and frustrated, it's not against any listeners. It's just that if we were taught this, we would do a better job. Way back in the day, brother, 200 years ago, you had to farm your own land. You had to have your own chickens and pigs and horses. You had to barter pigs for cows or whatever. We've become a specialized economy where I always joke, I say Tesla shouldn't sell energy drinks and Red Bull shouldn't sell cars. What I mean by that is get really, really, really good at what you do so that you can have more income to then pay for other people to do what they do well. And on an episode probably 10, my brain breaks with all this stuff because I can't explain it all, but there was an episode probably 5-10 episodes ago where I took from the very beginning of the making of this shirt. I spent $27 on this shirt plus tax. It's probably like $30, we'll call it. I went through in my mind every person who had to touch this shirt in order for it to show up on my doorstep. And the $30 that I spent paid for each and every one of those people. And that went to their families and their children and their food on their table. And again, at the end of the day, economics is wildly understudied, and we didn't learn economics in high school, which is an atrocity in my opinion. It's really devastatingly bad that we didn't learn economics. I have this book behind me. It's something Sowell is the author. It's called Basic Economics, most boring book of all time. It's super thick. Here, let me grab it.
Something Sowell.
Yeah, Basic Economics. Look at how thick this book is. This is probably like 2 inches thick.
Very unsexy.
I would read this before bed because I couldn't sleep. And it was so boring, it would just put me to sleep. But I also retained a lot of it, right? And it's not that good, to be honest, but it's better than no book.
All right, what's your next level? Quite a shining endorsement for that book. What's your next level lesson before we get out of here?
If study economics a little bit, you're never going to be wealthy by accident.
Fair.
Statistically speaking, it's very unlikely you become wealthy by accident. There's a way to build wealth. I know someone who's going to be very wealthy who never made more than $20 an hour. And it depends on where you live and the cost of living. I understand minimum wages are different all over the world. Like, that's not what I'm saying. You can build wealth. Wealth, these are principles, basic ass principles. And you can build wealth if you practice the principles, just like fitness. It's fundamentals of diet and exercise. There's similar principles in wealth. And I think that the world will be a better place when we all feel in control of our own financial future.
Naturally, I will go very micro. Next time you're on Grubhub, and you see it go from $15 for a sub to $26 because of tax. Well, you're going to have to pay tax no matter what, but convenience fee, delivery fee, this, and you want to make sure you tip the driver. I'm all for that. I love that. I would think to yourself, look, how much of a big deal is it for me just to put my shoes on and go get it myself? If you're just hanging out, if you have something else to do, and you're going to make money, awesome, love that. Or you're going to add value somewhere, awesome, love that. You're going to be more productive, awesome. I just feel like most of us aren't using it like that. So that's what I would say. Next time you're going to order something, if the price is going to double because you're Grubhubbing it, that probably ain't it. We're doing really well. We're doing the best I've ever done financially, awesome. I still I can't do it. I just can't do it.
Kev used to do it all the time.
Until I realized...
You evolved so much.
Well, I didn't look at the numbers. I was like... And you know me, I like to tip well. So if you're delivering, I'm not the like, oh yeah, 10%'s good. I can't... Whoa. One of the reasons I don't do it is because I can't do 10% is good enough. I'm not that type of person, so I just don't do it because I will.
You better get your ass in that car then.
That's what I'm saying.
I'm kidding.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah. I've been getting my ass in that car, so that's my next level lesson.
Right. I'm joking, dude.
Yeah, of course.
Always.
All right, cool. If you want to be more productive, if you want to get to the next level, if you want to be the most hyper-conscious version of yourself, throwback, check out our website, nextleveluniverse.com. It has all the things that we have. I know we do a lot of stuff, and we talk about a lot of stuff. That is the place to go and see the hub of it all. So nextleveluniverse.com is the website. We'll have the link in the show notes.
This Next Level Dreamliner, I promise you, will make you far more productive. You wake up every day to gratitudes, your most important tasks, your next level lesson, your most important win, your most important improvement. This will help you achieve your goals and dreams. It is designed by us. We both use it. The link will be in the show notes. I believe it's $29 on Amazon.
It is. I don't know if it's the hard copy versus soft copy. I don't know.
Same price for both.
Same price. And it gets you 90 days. So it ends up being whatever that is. $3 a day, maybe? Something like that. Is that right?
No way. 30
cents a day.
Yeah.
That's a bargain.
You can't even get by 90. Look at this. 32 cents a day.
You can't even get a stick of gum for 32 cents anymore.
Brother.
Crazy.
Way to break it down.
Yeah, I appreciate it. I did it pretty terribly. Honestly, I was off a few decimal places.
$3 a day.
I was off a decimal place. All right, cool. As always, we love you. We appreciate you. Grateful for each and every one of you. And NLU United fans, we have family. We'll talk to you all tomorrow.
Keep it next level. Next Level Nation.